Close your eyes. We must not trust them. Tell me what comes into your mind.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. And you're a gay rights activist.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. Elon Musk just retweeted us, and we always view that as a compliment. Elon Musk is inarguably one of the most powerful men on Earth. He's the richest man on Earth. He runs $7 trillion companies, all while culling the bloated workforce of the federal government and saving taxpayers hundreds of billions of dollars. We're huge fans of Elon Musk, and obviously this is somebody that we would look to when it comes to productivity and how to run things. Ladies and gentlemen, Elon Musk once paraphrased the South Park mockery of Kathleen Kennedy, saying that she wants to put a chick in the linguine and make it more gay. This is something that Elon Musk said right here on April Fool's last year. Excited to join Disney as their chief DEI officer. I can't wait to work with Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy to make content more woke, even the linguine. He's referencing, of course, this scene right here. Put a chick in the linguine and make it more gay. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't the first or last time that Elon Musk commented on the wokeness of Disney. Is there a level of poor performance at Star Wars where Bob Iger would be forced to fire Kathleen Kennedy? It's beyond parody at this point. Obviously, the man who wants to take our country and humanity to the stars cares about Star Wars. Elon Musk has said it's an inspiration for him. The power of one: planet killer, system killer, fleet killer, franchise killer. Elon Musk responding, she's more deadly than Death Star. She has killed the franchise. Obviously, never in our lifetime did we think we'd see a Star Wars that had 41%, a theatrical release Star Wars that has 41% tomato meter. How about a series on D+ that has a 19% tomato meter? The Acolyte, the actual literal killer of franchises. I think this was the end, ladies and gentlemen. How bad can it get? Star Wars $180 million budget prequel series, The Acolyte, canceled by Disney+. Oh my. Finally, it seemed like Kathleen Kennedy may have run over a cliff when it comes to the destruction of franchises at Lucasfilm. Former Lucasfilm animator and employee says he's embarrassed and ashamed to have worked at Lucasfilm after watching The Acolyte. Again, how bad can it get?
It get better. I knew they were going to double down, quadruple down on their position and just keep going in that direction. And here's this. A lot of people are saying, okay, that's it. This episode 3 of Acolyte has killed Star Wars. I disagree with that one. I think we have yet to see Star Wars truly die.
Ooh, it's so sad. Incredibly, incredibly sad. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we may have seen the era of Kathleen Kennedy finally die at Star Wars. After all of the mockery, after all the South Park episodes, after Elon Musk's savagery, after losing what has to be billions of dollars for Disney, utter mismanagement, using of Star Wars for a political, turning a male brand into a girl's brand, and then turning that girl's brand into a political messaging brand, for an audience that doesn't exist, the modern audience, Kathleen Kennedy may well be ready to retire. From The Hollywood Reporter, Kathleen Kennedy expected to retire this year. The prolific producer that presided over Star Wars and Indiana Jones franchise destruction through ups and downs since 2012. So after a decade and a half at the helm of these franchises, Kathleen Kennedy, who has overseen the total and complete destruction of anything left at Lucasfilm, is going to leave with the entire house in ashes, burned to cinders. Disney's Lucasfilm boss, Kathleen Kennedy, expected to retire after tanking the Star Wars brand. That's an accurate headline. Disney Lucasfilm boss is readying to step down and leave the smoking ruins of the Star Wars franchise behind as she heads for retirement, multiple reports say Monday. The Independent outlined the septuagenarian joined the production company which was founded by Star Wars creator George Lucas in 2012 in the role of co-chair alongside director Lucas. Just a few months later, Lucas sold the company to Disney for $4 billion, and Kennedy was quickly elevated to the role of president. Now, film industry newsletter Puck reported that Kennedy, 71, has told colleagues that she will put her feet up by the end of 2025. Critics will say that it's not a moment too soon. The failures have been many, and the Star Wars brand has suffered the very, very most. Nolte pointed out, this is the writer here at Breitbart, that the Star Wars suffered so badly in its finale for the Force Awakens trilogy, The Rise of Skywalker, made almost exactly half of what its prequel did. Kennedy's Solo, a Star Wars story, and its pansexual Lando Calrissian lost money. Solo lost money. The Indiana Jones franchise. Indiana Jones survived Nazis, religious cults, rolling boulders, hundreds of snakes, and shrieks from the damsels in distress. Still, it couldn't survive Kathleen, the Force's female Kennedy, and the poison of her woke identity politics. There's LOL talk of making Phoebe Fleabag Waller-Bridge, the woman with zero sex appeal, the sex appeal of a thrice married aunt, the new Indiana Jones. But it's just a gaslight to pretend as though the dial of destiny, or the dial of dysentery, as Nerdrotic says, is not on track to become one of the biggest money losers in Hollywood history. The reviews, even from the woke reviewers, make it clear that the movie is so unappealing. Our cherished hero reduced to a bitter incompetent, while Phoebe Fleabag Bridge is allowed to marry Sue all over the place. Kennedy took the formula that killed Star Wars and murdered Indiana Jones. Elon Musk attacked Lucasfilm last year for pushing a woke agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, Kathleen Kennedy will be stepping down at a role at Lucasfilm. This is a new hope, many say. Kathleen Kennedy is reportedly stepping down from a role. Everybody is celebrating this, obviously. No word on who will replace her as president of Lucasfilm. Who will put the chick in it and make her lame and gay? Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down from being president of Lucasfilm this year. She's responsible for the many of the Star Wars and Indiana Jones sequel movies that are absolutely trash. Everybody celebrating, saying that Donald Trump's election has brought about the salvation of Hollywood as the film and TV and cultural spawn epicenter location in America rids itself of wokeness entirely, which was obviously an operation to project their values on hundreds of millions of people that reject their values. Doesn't work that way anymore. Good morning, the woman who destroyed Star Wars franchise. Kathleen Kennedy is reportedly stepping down. All DEI hires are getting whacked nationwide, and it's totally, completely glorious. For the 5th consecutive year, Kathleen Kennedy is leaving Lucasfilm. It eventually has to be true, says Nerdrotic. Kathleen Kennedy's tenure at Lucasfilm shows us what happens when you try and make art out of spite and hatred. Her work over the last decade has been little more than performative malice against Western mythos and the men who built it. Just a miserable body of work. There's been zero successes for Kathleen Kennedy. Zero. There's not a single success. Name a Star Wars villain. Me, Kathleen Kennedy. So yeah, Kathleen Kennedy retires, leading Star Wars. We recognize her for all she has done to our beloved franchise by destroying it. That's right. Kathleen Kennedy is hopefully retiring this year with her mission to kill Star Wars. To stick it to the patriarchy is complete. If Disney had any sense, her replacement would undo everything that she did and save the franchise. Yeah, how do you reverse this from canon? Can you? Can you declare that? I mean, they've done this in Star Trek. Can you declare that these weren't canon? That might be the only way to actually save Lucasfilm. Kathleen Kennedy's work at Lucasfilm is just a decade-long tantrum against American men and evangelical parents. That's exactly right. Kathleen Kennedy's successor at Lucasfilm Wellhouse doing an audit of their valuable franchise characters. She killed them all. He takes a cigarette out of the pack with the name Kathleen Kennedy on it. He smokes the whole pack. It's over. Trump saved us. Trump saved Star Wars. Maybe. We'll see. Kathleen Kennedy has stepped down, and now this. We are so freaking back. This is the brand new poster for Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary release that will be in theaters. So we'll see if any of the damage that Kathleen Kennedy has done persists. It's going to take a long time to clear out that pipeline. I don't think it actually can be saved. Many people who are smarter than me in this profession, like Critical Drinker, Neurotic, the Geeks and Gamers guys, they say you need to shelve Star Wars for years, like a decade. You need to put the brand away. It's been so destroyed, it's so decimated. And then fire everyone and then brush it off and try and come back after the memories and the pain of The Last Jedi and the Acolyte and every other woke piece of garbage was pushed through the Kathleen Kennedy production system. Taking a male brand, turning it into a girl's brand that nobody likes. This is Chris Gore. Taking a male brand that everyone likes, turning it into a girl's brand that nobody likes, and then turning that girl's brand into a political brand that causes the actual fans of the franchise to hate it. I mean, it really is an act of total and complete creative destruction. Good riddance. George Lucas said it best when he was asked about the pain of selling Star Wars and how tough it was to give it to people who didn't understand the creative process, product, or the value of the brand itself, and brought nothing to the table. In a moment of rare senility, George Lucas saying, I made a mistake, but I can't do anything about it now. We agree with you, George.
When I sold the company, I just sort of said, because I had a baby girl, I got married, I had a different life, and I said, I'm going to, and I didn't, because I knew it would take me another 10 years to make those films. And I said, and I was 69, and I said, man, I'm not gonna be doing this when I'm 79. And I won't, it's time to let go and let somebody else do it. Even though, like with Empire Strikes Back and some, I ended up having to be on the set the whole time, but it's like, I was the only one that really knew what Star Wars was, and Gersh and I were really good friends, so it was like, so I was like the consultant, the advisor who actually knew the world, because there's a lot to it. The Force, nobody understood the Force. Nobody, what they do is, and then they started other ones when I sold the company, and they, a lot of those ideas that were in there sort of got lost. But that's the way it is. If you give it up, you give it up.
I want to talk about your